What's up with the what's up? It's LaDria LaVae. Welcome back to my channel. Now for this tutorial, I'm bringing you this super cute top down Raglan style crop top. Now you could turn this into so many things. It's a great base that you can super customize. On top of that, I added sizes extra small to 3XL. So I really hope y'all enjoyed this video. Now it's only right we get into it. But first, if you came back to my channel, make sure you click that subscribe button, the notifications, so you know when I upload, and give this video a thumbs up if you're feeling this top. Let's get into it. Okay, so this is the top that I wore in the Get to Know Me video. It's just one of the skeins of one of those rainbow yarns. I insert that in the description below. You can check it out. It's a weight for yarn and I use a 5mm hook. I do suggest that if you are using a weight for yarn to use a 5.5 hook and to do a size smaller. That's just my suggestion. I did use a size 5 with this, but it is a little thick, but I think it'll be great for you know, springtime or something like that. For this tutorial, I'll be making this top, which is done with all cotton. I use scrap yarn for this, so I doubled up with some thread from Michaels. I had some leftover yarn from a year ago when I did my very first tutorial, and I just took apart this one project for this mustard, and I got that yarn almost 2 years ago. So you can really use just about anything. So grab your yarn, your hook, and let's get to it. Okay, so for this tutorial, I'm using my 5mm hook, and I'm using this, I would say, lightweight, weight 4, 3-ish kind of yarn. Any of the two will work. It's gonna be a fitted top, so if you want it a bit more loose, just go up a size. I will list everything for all the sizes on the screen, from extra small to 3XL, for how much you need a chain and for how many you need to do for each double crochets we do, etc, etc. So for this tutorial, I'm going to be making a size small. So chain up the number that you, for the size that you're making. And for a small, I'm chaining up 60. Okay, so once you have the number of chains that you have for your size, you're gonna make sure your chain is not twisted. And we're gonna slip stitch in that very first chain. So slip stitch in that very first chain. And chain up 2. Okay, so after you chain 2, I'm doing a small, so I'm going to make a double crochet in the next 7 stitches. Now I'm going to list on the screen how many to do for your size. So as you see is 7 for a small, 8 for a medium, 9 for a large, and so on. So that's how it's going to be throughout the video. I'm going to show how many chains you need to go into, how many double crochets you need to do for each size. So continuing, I'm doing a small. The chain 2 do not count as a stitch. I'm going to do 7 double crochets. So 1, 2. So after you do the amount of double crochets you need for your size, all sizes, the next stitch you're going to do 2 double crochets. Chain 2, and place 2 double crochets in the next stitch, no skipping stitches. And now you're going to place, well, since I'm doing a small, I'm going to place 13 double crochets in the next 13 chains, and you do what's on the screen for your size. So 13. So after you did the amount you needed to do for your size, in the next stitch, 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 double crochets in the next chain, no skipping any stitches. So now I'm going to repeat that one more time, actually 2 more times. And I'm going to list on the screen how many you need to do for your size. So I just did 13. I'm going to repeat that, the 13 double crochets for my size. And you repeat what you just did or just follow what's on the screen, okay? So I'm going to do my 13. So after you do that number, you're going to do the 2 double crochets. Chain 2, 2 double crochets in the next stitch, no skipping stitches. And I'm going to repeat that one more time when I did the 13. So 13, and you do the number on the screen for your size. So after that, do your 2 double crochets. In the next stitch. After that, chain 2, 2 double crochets in that next stitch. And 1 double crochet in the rest of the stitches. So for me, that will be 1 double crochet in the next 6 stitches, for medium 7, large 8, extra large 9, so on and so forth. You see it on the screen, okay? You know I got you covered. So 1 double crochet in each of those last stitches. Once you're done with that, you just slip stitch in that second chain of that first chain 2 we did. So slips, that's the first chain, that's the second chain, and slip stitch right in that top chain, pull through. So you see that's the slip stitch. You won't be going into that stitch. This is the last stitch of the round, that's the slip stitch. So that's good to know so you can keep your seam straight. And this is the base of it, so you want to make sure this goes over your head right here. So we have our little square, and once you have this, every row after this is going to be super easy. Chain up 2, now double crochet in each stitch till you get to the chain 2 space. So for my small, I had a total of 9 double crochets because we increased in that very first round. So now in the chain 2 space, you'll place 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets. So after that, just double crochet into the next chain 2 space, and you'll do 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets. So let's do this round together. Double crochet to your next chain 2 space. So I'm at my next chain 2 space, place that 2 double crochet, chain 2, two double crochets again. So 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet, and I'm gonna double crochet down to my next chain 2 space, 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochets, and I'm gonna repeat to that chain 2 space, double crochet in each stitch, at that last 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochets, and then I'm going to place 1 double crochet in the remaining stitches. So after that, you just slip stitch into that chain 2 space. Right here. Chain up 2 again. And you'll just continue. And just remember, this little hoopity hoop is the slip stitch. It is not a stitch. This is the last stitch before the chain 2 space. And you're going to just repeat this pattern. Double crochet till you get to that chain 2 space. Place 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets. Come back down. Same thing. Round, same thing. Boom, boom. So do that in all of the corners. Slip stitch in that chain 2 space. And just continue. So I'm going to do this for my size small, a total of 10 rounds. I'm going to list on the screen how many rounds in total to continue this pattern. And it's super adjustable. You can either add rounds, take away rounds. And yeah, so I'll come back when I'm done with my total of 10 rounds. So simply just repeat that pattern. Double crochet until you get to that space, place that 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochets, and back around, slip stitching in that chain 2 space. I'll be back when I'm done with my total of 10 rounds. So I finished my 10 rounds, and this is how it look. Now you should be right here with the chain 2. Now we're going to place 1 double crochet in each stitch and 2 double crochets in this chain 2 space. So now I'm going to place 2 double crochets in that chain 2 space. Now chain up 3, fold your work in half. So the seam is right in the middle in the back. And now you're going to place 2 double crochets in this chain 2 space. So this is forming the armhole right here. So this is how my work is. The seam is right here in the middle of the back. And we're just going to place 2 double crochets in this chain 2 space. And double crochet in each stitch to the next chain 2 space, and I'll meet you back here. So now I'm at that chain 2 space. Place 2 double crochets in that space, chain up 3, and then place 2 double crochets in the next chain 2 space that's folded over just right here. So just want to show you again that the seam is in the back middle, and just to make sure you didn't fold it the opposite way. So place 2 double crochets in this chain 2 space on the opposite side. So that's the seam side right there. So turn your work and do your 2 double crochets. Creating the next armhole, and you're going to double crochet back down to the chain 2 space. So now I'm at that chain 2 space and just slip stitch in that chain 2 space. chain up 2. Now I just wanted to show you what we got going on. So this is how it looks. You see the armhole, so you'll work your sleeves and around over here, and you'll work your body around the chain spaces and just all the way around, just like that. So now continuing the body and rounds, I'm going to chain up 2, place 1 double crochet in each stitch and in each chain we made, and back around to this chain 2 space. So I'm going to check in with you at the chain 3 space. So now I'm at that chain 3 space. Now I'm at that chain 3 space and just place 1 double crochet in each of those chains. So keep placing 1 double crochet in each stitch till you get to that chain 3 space, and I'll meet you when I get to that chain 3 space. So I'm back at that chain 3 space, and I just wanted to show y'all one more time to make sure y'all get it. Just place 1 double crochet in each of those chains. And double crochet down to the chain 2 space. So I'm back at the chain 2 space, slip stitch in there, chain up 2, and you're just going to repeat that for the length that you want your top. You could actually do a whole dress, you could do a gown, you could just stop it right there, you know, just cover half, whatever you want to do. So I'm going to actually continue this for around 10 to 11 more rounds. I'll put on the screen like suggested rounds for this top, but I'm going to continue this for 10 or 11 rounds, and I'm going to change the color because I'm running out of yarn and we in quarantine, so you know I'm just using what I got. And I'll be back when I'm done with my rounds. I'll be back when I'm done with my 10 to 11 rounds, and then we'll work on the bottom border. Okay, so I did a total of 12 rounds, counting that round when we went into the chain spaces with the armhole. Now we're going to work on the bottom border. So since I ran out of yarn, I just used some random scrap yarns I had. I doubled this lace yarn by Aunt Lydia, Aunt Lisa from Michaels, whatever it is. I just doubled that for this light pink. And this pink right here is the actual little scrap yarn I had left over from my very first crochet tutorial on the channel, and it's a weight 3 yarn. So I'm just making it work while we in quarantine, okay? So now let's get to this border edging, and you could actually finish this however you want. You could do this top longer, shorter, whatever works. But all we're going to do is chain up our 2, place 1 double crochet in the next stitch, and 1 front post double crochet. So let me show you how to do that. So for a front post, you yarn over, go under this post, this tower, this chain, that's the double crochet, yarn over, pull through, and just complete your double crochet. So I'm going to show you a few more times. Double crochet in the next stitch, front post by as if you're doing a double crochet, go under the post of the next stitch, pull through, and complete your double crochet. So one more time, double crochet in the next stitch, front post double crochet after that with yarn over, under the post, pull through, and complete your double crochet. So you're going to do that all the way around till you hit the chain 2 space. So I'm at that chain 2 space. I'm going to slip stitch in that chain 2 like we been doing. Boom. Boom. Now chain up 2. Place 1 double crochet on top of that next double crochet. And the front post in the next. So yarn over under the post like how we did before, pull through and complete the double crochet. Now you could continue this pattern for however many rows you want to, but I'm gonna do this row 2 more times. So just double crochet in the next stitch and front post where that front post is, all the way to the chain 2 space, you slip stitch there, chain up 2, and just repeat the pattern however long you want to. You could even do something different. You could do any type of border you want, or you could leave it as is and just move on to the sleeves. So I'm going to complete this and I'll be back when I'm done. So I'm at my last stitch, slip stitch in that chain 2 space, chain up 1 and cut your yarn and pull through and weave that in. So this is how the bottom looks. So cute. You could go longer, you could change it up, whatever is clever for you. So now we're gonna work on the sleeve. You're gonna go to that chain 2 space on the edge, the one that's right along the line, the one that's right before we did the chain 3 space. Go right there and attach your yarn and chain up 2. Place 1 double crochet in that same space and another double crochet in the first double crochet of that 2 that we did before we chained 3 around the armhole. So basically we're just going along the edge. Some may have 7 stitches or 8 stitches. It really won't make a huge difference, but I'm just going to place 1 right there. So that's 2 double crochets so far. And then I'm going to place 1 right here. That's right before the chain 3 space. So that's 3 double crochets. And then I'm going to place 1 double crochets in each of the stitches for the chain 3 space. So 1 double crochet in each of those chains. That's 4. And then a double crochet in the space after that chain 3. So right before we hit that chain 2 space. So this little double crochet right here. Place 1. And then 1 double crochet in that chain 2 space. So I have a total of 8 stitches along the edge of that armholes. Now just place 1 double crochet all the way around back to that chain 2 space. And I'll be back when I get to the chain 2 space. So now I'm at that chain 2 space. I'm going to slip stitch right there in the chain 2 space. Chain up 2. And now we're going to decrease every 5 stitches just to bring the arm in. Now this is optional. If you want to just leave a wider sleeve, you could just keep going in the rounds of double crochet for however long you want your short sleeve. But I'm going to decrease. So how I do that, I'm going to double crochet in the next 5 stitches. And how I'm going to decrease is yarn over through the next stitch, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 more loops, yarn over into the next stitch, pull through, yarn over through 2 loops, yarn over through 3 loops. And I'm going to do it again. So double crochet 5. And I'm going to do it again with the decrease, yarn over through the stitch, pull through, yarn over through 2 loops, yarn over through the next stitch, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 stitches, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. So I'm gonna complete this until I'm back at that chain 2 space. So at the chain 2 space, slip stitch in the chain 2 space, chain up 2. So now I'm gonna repeat this row 5 more times before I get to the border of the sleeves. So I'll get back to you when I'm done with all my rows before the border. Okay, so this is how it look. I have a total of 6 rows, 2 of the yellow, 1 of the dark pink, and 3 of the light pink. So no more decreasing for me after this row. After you decrease to a point where it's comfortable on your arm, you could just keep working in rounds without decreasing for a longer sleeve. But now I'm gonna work on the border exactly how we did the bottom. So I'm gonna chain up 2, double crochet in the first stitch, and front post double crochet in the next. Double crochet after that, front post in the next, double crochet, and now I ran into the stitch where we decrease. So this is really 1 stitch, but here's the 2 stitches that we decrease. So you'll skip that first one of the decrease and do your front post in this stitch. So yarn over and complete your front post, double crochet in the next, front post after that, and just repeat this row for your border. You could do however many rows you want, but I'm gonna do 2 more rows after this for my sleeve border, or you could just do single crochet around on the back loop. With so many things you can do for your sleeve, and just this whole project is just super customizable. So I'm going to continue this for 2 more rows, and I'll be slip stitching in a chain 2 space, chaining up 2, and just continuing my rounds like we've been doing throughout the project. So I finished my rows. I just chain up 1, cut my yarn, pull through, and weave that in. Now you're gonna complete the same pattern on the other side. So you attach your yarn in that chain 2 space. Let me just show you right here. So you attach your yarn on the chain 2 space, work your double crochets all the way around evenly, chain up 2 and do your decrease row, and you're just doing the same exact thing you did on this side. So attach your yarn at the chain 2 space, work your double crochets, which I had 8 along this edge, and double crochet all the way down. So let me just get you started. Attach your yarn by making a slip knot, going into that chain 2 space, pull through, chain up 2, place 1 double crochet in that chain 2 space, and double crochet along that edge, the same amount you did on the other sleeve. I had 8, so I'm gonna do 8 over here. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And I'm just gonna double crochet all the way around, slip stitch in that chain 2 space, and then do my decrease row. Now if you didn't do your decrease row, just keep going in rounds, or you could decrease every other row. There's so many ways you can do it to fit your arm. So I finished the sleeve portion. I weaved in all my ends. Now you're gonna move into the neckline. Now this is super optional. You could do so many ways, but I did the single rib stitch that I did all around the actual top, and let's get into that. So for the collar, which is optional, you're gonna take your yarn and attach to where the seam is. Chain up 2. And work 1 double crochet around each stitch. So just place 1 double crochet basically in that beginning chain that we started. So right in the chains from when we first started, you place 1 double crochet all the way around. So I'm gonna go all the way around the neckline into the beginning chain, and I'll meet you when I'm back at this chain 2 space. So now I'm at that chain 2 space, going to slip stitch in that chain 2, chain up 2 again, and now we're gonna do 1 double crochet, 1 front post, 1 double crochet, 1 front post. So first stitch, double crochet, and for a front post, yarn over, go under the post, which is right here, pull through and complete your double crochet. Next stitch, 1 double crochet, and I'm gonna show you the front post one more time. Yarn over under the post, yarn over again, pull through and complete your double crochet. So we're gonna do that all the way around to the chain 2 space. Just 1 double crochet, 1 front post, 1 double crochet, 1 front post. Okay, so I'm back to that chain 2 space. I'm gonna slip stitch in that chain 2 space like we've been doing. Now you could leave the neckline like this, but I'm going to continue that same row 2 more times. So I'm gonna chain up 2, double crochet where there's a double crochet, and do a front post, double crochet in the next, and continue that for 2 more rows for my neckline. Once again, this is super optional. You could do so many cute little things with the neckline. So I'm just going to continue this single rib stitch for the neckline, and I'll be back when I'm done. So I'm at my last stitch with the neckline, and I'm gonna slip stitch into that chain 2 space, chain up 1, cut my yarn, pull through, and I'm gonna weave that in, so that's how it looks. So this is how the neckline looks. Super cute and super optional. You could do so many things with the neckline. And boom, your top is looking bomb. I can't wait to see all the little dope things you're gonna do with this little, you know, format. You could use this for just about anything, making a dress, a romper, all of that. Thank you so much for watching this video. Comment below what colors you have in mind for this kind of top. Make sure you click that thumbs up button and subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Can't wait to see you in my next video. Make sure you stay bright, stay creative, stay hopeful, and keep on keeping on with love always. Later.